Today is Friday, November 8th, but today is also the day where I finally hit six figures, $100,000 in a brokerage account. I guess I'll just start off by saying to the two of you guys that actually watch my videos, even though I think I had 20 subscribers, but to the two of you guys that actually watch my videos, I just wanted to say, when I first started this account, or when I first started in the stock market in general, I did not even know what a stock was. And I did not have 46,000 in this account, of course. Started with maybe $500. Robinhood just starts it off with, I think that's the total number of your deposits, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I didn't even know what a stock was. There would be days where I would be up $100 and I would be excited over that. I know it kind of sounds ridiculous now, but man, there would be days where I'm up maybe $300 on a trade and I'm super hyped up about that. But yeah, I never thought that this day would happen. And I know that sounds crazy and maybe it's cliche because everybody says that, but really, if any of you guys are actually starting out and you have maybe $100 in your account and it just seems so out of reach, I just wanted you to know that me having six figures in my account right now, I also thought the same thing. I had no idea this would ever be a possibility. But yeah, all time, I'm up 116. I think I'm still underperforming the NASDAQ, if I'm not mistaken. I really wish that compare feature would come back so I could actually compare apples to apples. But yeah, 116 all time, I guess that'll have to do for now. 123 past year to date up 80%, which is insane. 3 months, 56, 1 month, 22, 21 for the week, almost 4% for today. That's on a day where the NASDAQ is up barely 0.12%. And Robinhood is finally at $30. And for me, it is not a surprise because my price target on Robinhood for myself is at 33. And like I always say, that is not a buy and sell recommendation. I'm not your financial advisor. That is just the price target I had for myself. But it seems like 33 is much more of a possibility than I think it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago when we had that huge dip. But yeah, Palantir at 58. That is insane. I didn't even think we would hit 50 this year, to be honest, but Palantir is the gift that just keeps on giving. I know it sounds crazy for me to say this right now, but I would love it if Palantir paid a dividend. They have so much money and they're growing so fast. I mean, most of my companies are growth companies, but Palantir is just so tremendous. And maybe it's a little bit too early to pay a dividend right now. Maybe when their share price is closer to maybe 80-ish, they should start paying a dividend. But yeah, that would be amazing if Palantir started paying a dividend. It'd be amazing if Robinhood started paying a dividend, but I know Robinhood is constantly trying to pump out new features. Those features are very expensive, of course, and in the beginning, they like to take a loss to grow market share, of course. And so Robinhood probably won't pay a dividend anytime soon, and they shouldn't. Not until at least Robinhood gets closer to all-time highs, which is, I think, 80 to 85. Eventually, if Robinhood hits that all-time high, the old all-time high of 80 to 85-ish, around there, I think they should go ahead and start paying a dividend. And I think that might have a positive effect on the stock to help break the old all-time high. But that is just my opinion, of course. That does not mean they're going to do it. But number 3 position, of course, kind of a disappointment, TLT. It is what it is. It pays off my interest because I do have a little bit of margin on my account, so I pay a little bit of interest. I think Robinhood just lowered their interest again for some reason. Or the Fed cut rates. I can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, Robinhood is 6% on the interest, which is crazy low. And the treasuries are kind of my collateral and also helps pay off my monthly interest. So it is what it is. I should have sold cover calls maybe when it was 105, whatever. PayPal's at 83. Tesla's at 321, which is insane. I think when they hit earnings, or when they had that earnings pop, I sold it at 228, I think. And I thought that was like, this is a blessing for me, but now it's at 320. Like, what? SoFi is finally not a grandpa stock anymore. It's almost at 13. And oh my goodness, Honest, I cannot wait for Honest to break $5 and start making its way to $10. And I just love Honest's products. Obviously, I don't use all their products because I'm a dude. They have a lot of like baby products and women products. Obviously, I don't use those. I'm not judging you if you do use some of those. But yeah, I used Honest lotions. I kind of like their lotions. And I've also used their, it's like there's face serum. Like I'm not super into beauty products, so forgive me, but it's like their face serum. And it kind of feels good. Like after I'm done shaving, whatever, I'll put on that serum. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. It's the green one. I forgot what it's called. But Nike, kind of disappointing in the short term. But I think Nike will have a decent turnaround as the consumer has a decent turnaround. So just slowly adding to that. And American Express is the company that I should have bought a lot more in, but it ran up so much I just stopped kind of buying it a little bit. Burberry is like my stock that goes up and down 5 to 10% every day, and I just don't really pay attention to it. I believe they still have a decent balance sheet, decent brand, and so I'm just holding it. And so the rest of my positions are so small and minute, like I don't even know if I should go over them, but I guess I will very quickly. So Pepsi, I'm just slowly building into it as kind of like a risk-off play, but also because I just like the company. They just bought Siete. I think it's a great brand. It's my favorite chips, by the way. EA. So EA, I kind of wish I bought super heavy into it before it broke 150, but it is what it is. I still think in the future, I think for myself, doesn't mean you should buy it, but I think EA could be a $200 stock in the future. And so that's why it's in. And they own a lot of video game franchises that I used to play a lot when I was a kid. And so it's just kind of like that feeling of I want to own brands that I actually use. And I just saw a decent setup on the chart, decent fundamentals, and I said, screw it. And my one QQQ position is kind of mostly profits. Like I use margin, and I'm basically, I guess slowly over time, I'm going to trade my way into a bigger QQQ position just to slowly make my account over time like more of a satellite portfolio where I'm not super top heavy, even though I kind of like that feeling of being super top heavy. It's kind of exciting and whatever. But obviously when I'm much older, I'll probably look back and say it was probably a good decision for me to build up a big QQQ position. I want to collect that QQQ dividend every 3 months. So yeah, it is what it is. It's not going to be a super big position. Like I said, it's just kind of like a satellite, somewhat of a satellite strategy. And if you guys don't know what the satellite strategy is, you can just ask a question. I'm sure most of us would answer that, or you could just Google it, whatever. Speaking of Google, do have one share of Google. It's pure profit. I used a little bit of margin to trade their earnings. And so, yeah, straight profit. I like Google. I use it all the time, so whatever. It's like that feeling of I want to own the brands that I actually use. And speaking of owning brands I actually use, not Nubank because I'm not Brazilian, but Vans, VF Corp. If we had tax lots, that number would be much bigger, but it is what it is, 10 shares. I bought it when it was like 14, 15 during like the Japanese yen crisis, and it's kind of an unhealthy company. I think Nike is much healthier financially, fundamentally, so I don't want it to be as big as my Nike position, but it's there because I just enjoy the feeling of owning it. And of course, Costco. I put like maybe $40 into it, and it's only gone up, and I don't feel comfortable buying more into it, so I'm leaving that alone for now. But just to quickly go over the percentages for today, Robinhood almost 4%, Palantir almost 5%, TLT 1%, PayPal 2%, Tesla a little over 8%, SoFi 9%, Honest 4%, Nike flat, American Express basically flat. And to quickly go over my equity in them, almost 46K for Robinhood, Palantir 11K, TLT 10K, because that's kind of about how much margin I use. PayPal a little over 8K, Tesla a little over 8K, and that reminds me, I did not notice this, but Tesla is now above PayPal, which is crazy. Man, I should have bought more PayPal. But yeah, SoFi almost 7K, Honest 5K, Nike 3K, American Express almost 3K. But yeah, guys, I guess the message of this video or whatever is to not give up. And when you're starting out, the numbers seem very small, kind of like my pending dividends right now. Looks super small. That American Express dividend is only $7. Costco is like 6 cents. It's super small, but slowly over time, you got to think about the big picture. Make smart decisions, do your research, slowly build it up over time, and the numbers will get bigger, hopefully.